There's a word that gets used so often in dating advice that it's lost almost all of its meaning. Boundaries. Most men hear it and think rules, restrictions, things you say no to. But what a boundary actually is, what it feels like from the outside, is something completely different. And when a man has real ones, women feel it before he's even said the word. This is for men who want to understand what genuine self-respect looks like in practice, not as a concept, as something she can actually feel. Sign number 1, he says no without a lengthy explanation. She suggests something he doesn't want to do. He says simply that it doesn't work for him. No 6-sentence justification, no over-apologizing, no ensuring she knows exactly why, so she can't be upset about it. The absence of that explanation is the signal. A man who needs you to understand and approve of his no doesn't fully trust it himself. The man who states it calmly and lets it stand is communicating something much more powerful. He knows what works for him, and he doesn't need permission for that to be true. Women don't experience this as coldness. They experience it as solidity. And solidity is safe. The second sign is one most men don't recognize as a boundary at all, because it doesn't look like saying no to anything. It looks like something else entirely. Sign number 2. He doesn't adjust his values to match the room. He's in a conversation, and someone says something he disagrees with. Not something worth fighting about, just something that isn't true for him. And instead of quietly nodding, he says so. Gently, without making it confrontational. But honestly, that moment, the small, honest disagreement in a social setting, is one of the clearest signals a man has a real sense of self. Because a man without boundaries doesn't just say yes to requests. He says yes to impressions. He shapes his opinions to fit whoever he's with. She might not consciously notice it, but she stops trusting the warmth. Because warmth that's always agreeable stops feeling like connection and starts feeling like performance. Sign number 3. He protects his time without guilt. He's built a life. He has things he's committed to. His work, his training, his friendships, his own development. When she wants to see him, he's genuinely glad to. And he's also not immediately available every time she reaches out. Not because he's playing a game, because his time already belonged to something before she came along. Women describe this quality as the thing that made them realize he was worth taking seriously. A man who drops everything every time communicates, before he means to, that nothing else in his life is holding his attention. And a man with nothing holding his attention has nothing to offer. There's a video on this channel that goes directly into this. The mindset shift that changes how you show up in dating without trying harder. I'll link it at the end. Sign number 4. He addresses things directly instead of letting them build. Something crossed a line, not dramatically, not in a way he can easily dismiss. And rather than absorbing it and going quiet, he names it, calmly, without punishing her for it, just clearly. I want to say something about earlier, because it didn't sit right with me. That sentence is one of the most attractive things a man can say, not because it's impressive, because it's honest. It tells her this man knows his own interior well enough to say when something doesn't belong there, and that he trusts the connection enough to say so. Men who never raise anything aren't being easygoing. They're accumulating resentment in private while performing contentment in public. She can feel that tension too, even when she can't name it. Sign number 5. He ends things that consistently cost him his self-respect. This is the deepest one. A man with real boundaries knows when something has stopped being right for him, and he acts on that knowledge, not impulsively, not to punish anyone, but because staying would mean betraying himself, and that's a price he's stopped being willing to pay. Women remember this man, not because he walked away dramatically, because when he left, he was gentle and clear and completely at peace with his own decision. And that kind of self-respect is something she spends a long time thinking about. If this landed, this video is the natural next step. It goes into how these qualities show up in the very first interactions with a woman, and exactly what she's reading in those early moments. It's on screen now. I'll see you there.